Hey guys, what is up? NYK31 here, Madden 19. This is a couple of weekend league games I'm showing y'all. Well, obviously since the update, which I really haven't had much of an occasion to talk much on. Hope everybody enjoyed their holiday weekend. I've been out and about, doing the family thing, entertaining relatives, going to movies, eating lots of food, all that good stuff. Dreading having to get my mind and body back to reality starting tomorrow. But on the flip side of that, I only have about 3 weeks left before I'm pretty much in hibernation until the new year. So that's a good thing. But anyhow, let's talk about this update and touch on some relevant things pertaining to how the game is playing. I've lost count of what update this is, but we're on update number 4 or 5, something around those lines. But anyhow, you're going to be seeing here, I'm being playing my customary too high look, basing out of quarters coverage. And what you're going to be seeing here, I'm going against a pretty much a textbook meta style opponent. He's coming out in Pat's trips tight end. He's got Austin Eckler at tight end. Austin Eckler is a back with 90 speed. He's got Vic. He's got a Moss and Tariq Hill. So you're going to be dealing with scumbaggery. And if you notice, I'm playing an awful lot on my weak side safety out of this. And basically, I'm basing out of this until he forces me to change up something. You know, see how he handles it, see how savvy he is, and all that good stuff. But basically what they've done as far as the patch notes are concerned is that they tightened up the quarter flats a little bit to relate to flat threats a little bit better. I'm still not in love with it. They still do get out leveraged quite a bit, more often than I would like. Don't get me wrong, it is better. Those table routes out of the split close especially that were so problematic are much more quickly identified. But there are still some times where they'll be relating to the inside vertical a little bit too long before retreating to the flat. There are times when the quarter flat does have to account for that responsibility of redirecting and squeezing the vertical release before going out of the flat, but sometimes it's still taking a little bit too long for them to do so. But it's at least a lot more manageable than it was before we had to play the constant guessing game between hard flat, cloud flat, curl flat in order to just stop from being eaten alive on those. They also, let me just read it actually as far as what they did. Pass coverage. Let's see. It says here, added coverage logic for the deep half defender and cover 6 to cover post routes more effectively. They are topping that post route a little bit better. What's odd, though, is that they touched on that, but did not do anything to address that at a cover 2. The deep half safeties will allow post routes to cross their face with regularity, which is something that a cover 2 safety would never allow to happen if there's nothing to account for. And the only thing to account for is a guy breaking from the outside back across them. They're going to at least acknowledge his existence and try to do something about it. But in Madden, that is not the case. Weird that it would work for cover 6 a little bit better, but for cover 2, it's been pretty much unchanged. Added coverage logic for cover 4 palms to more effectively cover streaks. There are still some ways to create hot route combinations, especially out of pistol bunch tight end, I've noticed, and gun bunch that will turn number 2 loose, which is one of the reasons why I'm playing on the weak side safety so often. I'm always on the lookout for when number 2 or number 3 sometimes is going to be in a position that it's going to cause some damage. And really, if you're going to be playing this scheme in a competitive environment like weekend league, MUT draft, salary cap, and you're going up against a heavy dose of meta, in my opinion, that's the best way to combat that. Don't be afraid of using that weak safety. That weak safety in a match quarter scheme, he's got a fair bit of freedom. He's got freedom to cut. He's got freedom to bracket. He can serve as a rat in the hole. There's a whole wide variety of roles he can fill depending on formation, route distribution, and what he's able to read. I know some people are, they're afraid of using the deep safeties. They're afraid of making a mistake. But really, in that role, there's really not a whole heck of a lot you can do wrong as a user. First thing you do is keep your eye out for any hot route crossing combinations that could pose a potential problem. Look out for some of these skinny posts that causes all kinds of artificial separation, because again, this game really needs a lot of work as far as recognizing and respecting coverage leverage, and also especially off coverage DB footwork. And again, most of those skinny posts that cause issues you'll find in compressed sets, split close, I-form close, pat sail out of bunch. Like you saw there, that previous play, I was using the safety on the solo side receiver portion of the field, and I was just right there in between the corner, the receiver, and the throwing lane, just in case there was any separation that occurred there. I have a 94 overall Deion Sanders on that side, so he doesn't get smoked very often, but you just never know. With the dice rolls in this game, you just gotta always just be on top of it. Just make sure you account for that first before you account for anything else. What else? Added coverage logic for cover 3 sky and cover 3 mesh to cover play action crosser plays more effectively. I do play some cover 3 buzz match. I have not really I have not dove too deep into cover 3 yet. I'm going to start playing a healthy dose of single high pretty soon to see what is what, and also do a breakdown series on that like I did with cover 4. I'm not going to do a cover 4 update. The rules are still the same. You just have to just be aware that the quarter flats, while they're better, it's still not ideal, and also you have to be aware of the fact that hot route combinations out of sets like this, either number 2 or number 3, can pose a potential problem. Now right here, this was beautiful. Reduced split, I'm cutting on the tight end crossing route, the corner replaces me, and he's right there to bracket that crosser. That is textbook palm special against a 3x1 reduced split set. So yeah, while it's better, there's still only so much they can do until they really clamp down and work on cleaning up movement in terms of footwork and coverage techniques, so that we have a better representation and respecting of coverage leverage. Because until that is truly respected, how in the world did he get out there? Oh my gosh, jeez. Defenders can move laterally out of their shoes, but they can't always top a simple route. It's crazy. But yeah, until leverage is properly respected, you're always going to have these cheapy routes that get open artificially. Like right here, Rondé Barber at free safety here gets turned prematurely. Opens up a smidge soon and gives up that post route. There's that cross drag out of that pistol bunch formation I was telling you about. Stuff like that. And here he's in bunch, and here I'm actually in buzz match right here. Again, post crosser. He actually runs spot and go there, which was actually a really good play by him. And Deion played that post out of press pretty well. So I guess my overall impression, it's okay. Not great, and that is terrible. That should be an INT, or at least a bat down. That cannot be a completion. But, like I said, not great, but not terrible either. It's fixed some things, but there's still some things that are lingering that need to be fixed, which probably won't be fixed until next year at this point. And that brings me to what they did with QB Contain. QB Contain. I get why they did what they did with them. They couldn't figure out a way to stop contain rushers from just causing havoc on blitzes and not being able to account for not necessarily them, but it fouled the whole protection up, which is one of the reasons why the crossfire blitz out of 335 odd was so lethal, as my buddy Will Fuller here helps me out of a jam. But yeah, as far as the contains go, what the contains do now is that they don't engage initially at all, nor do they really do a much better job of keeping a quarterback inside the pocket as they were doing previously. So it really kind of negates their use, especially when you consider that the fact that the interior pass rush gets so little push, there's really not a whole heck of a lot to keep a quarterback uncomfortable and prevent him from either just skating right around them once they do engage, or just going right straight up into the pocket, since there's not a whole heck of a lot of mush rush by the defensive tackles. There you see an example of the quarter flat getting out leveraged. he just gets caught in a mishmash of routes and doesn't really quite have the ability to get out there. And here you're going to see an example of a poor job of just topping a route. Rondé Barber here on your left, he just gets caught flat-footed there, and that gives up separation there in that corner, and I'm damn lucky it wasn't caught. Really got to clean that up. And here I'm in Buzz Mash and my seam flat, and both myself as a user do a terrible job there. That was not good. This game still has issues with compressed stats. Defenders just kind of skate out there and allow space. Now here I'm thinking he's going to that route combo again, so this time I'm in just straight Tampa 2, and he's going to force it, and I'm going to get the INT. So that will end the game. And that's pretty much it as far as the patch notes are concerned, as far as what's impacting the field the most. I'd love to hear what you guys think and what your observations have been. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will talk to you all later. Peace.